This class is going to be all about feeling supported. I figured with everything going on, we could use a little bit of physical and emotional support. So lay down, extend the legs, bring the arms next to the hips. Deep breath in and sigh it out. And then we're going to begin to move through the arms. Let's do both this time. So inhale, both arms up, point the toes, full body stretch like when you're waking up in the morning. Exhale, arms come down, feet flex, and press that lower back into the ground so that you feel supported by the mat. Then inhale, let the back lift up, full body stretch, toes pointed. Exhale and press that lower back into the ground, rooting down, supported by the mat. Keep flowing with the breath. Last one. And then bend both legs, feet hip distance apart. And we're going to do some of those pelvic tilts, which simply means we're going to press the lower back into the ground. The pelvis will tilt so it's into a posterior pelvic tilt, and then release. Press the lower back, engage that lower core, release. So inhale, engage. Exhale, release. Moving with your breath, feeling how the mat massages the lower back by tucking the pelvis. Notice if you shift more to the left or the right as you engage the core and tilt the pelvis, or if it feels pretty even. One more. And then on this last one, let's hold. Feel the core engagement. The whole spine feels flat and supported by the ground. Press evenly into the feet. And then as the pelvis is still tucked, we're going to lift up into bridge. With the pelvis tucked, it'll be hard to go as high. That's okay. Exhale, release. Have the sacrum be the last to touch. Tuck the pelvis, lift up again. Moving with your breath. At the top of the next one, let's hold. Reach the arms up, and then try to reach the left fingertips up higher so the shoulder blade comes up and lower. Then reach the right up and lower. Slowly moving through that, pressing evenly with the feet, really feeling grounded through the feet, like the feet and the legs are supporting you in this bridge. Last one. Lower everything down and hug the knees into the chest. Option to gently rock side to side, massaging that back. I called this poor man's massage once in class, and Margaret thought it was hilarious. But it is. And then meeting back with the knees over the hips, bring the calves parallel to the ground. Arms can be out to a T or next to the hips, whatever feels more supported. Exhale, slowly tap the right toes. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap the left toes. So the core is engaged here. This is one of those, the slower and more intentional you move, the more challenging it is. You want to feel supported by the ground, The hips, the sacrum are touching the ground at all times. This is working our hip flexors and core and warming up through the hips. One more each side. The meeting in center. We're going to do just 3 of these. Tap both nice and slow. Inhale up. Exhale, tap both. Inhale up. Last one. Then pull the knees into the chest, holding on to the back of the thighs. Start to rock front to back to massage the spine. If you deal with vertigo or this rocking is a struggle, feel free to just press on up to seated. One more, and then come all the way up to seated. From here, moving into a seated cat and cow. Inhale, open up through the chest. Exhale, roll on the sit bones, look down at the legs. Inhale, lift and open. Now let's add the arms. Open up through the chest and cow. Exhale, curl and cat. Last one. Then let's meet with the arms parallel to the ground. Flip the palms so they face the ground. And then move side to side through the rib cage. So these are tiny movements. You'll feel those muscles in the obliques and around the ribs engage. So rooting down through the sit bones and shifting the ribs left, right. It seems so simple, but it's actually pretty challenging. Last one. Meeting in center, bringing the hands to the shoulders, rooting down through the sit bones. Deep breath in. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. So with this, using the strength of the core to twist and rooting down through those sit bones. So as we twist one way, we have a tendency to lift up through one of the sit bones. So really grounding down as we twist. The next time you're twisting to the right, hold there, extend the arms, left hand to the thigh, right hand as close to the butt as you can get it. Press down through the hips. Inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. Exhale, twist, looking over the back right shoulder. Unwind, twist to the other side. Press down with the hips. Inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. Exhale, twist, looking over the back left shoulder. Unwind to center. And then let's move through to all fours. From here, moving into cat and cow on all fours. Moving with your breath. Focusing on pressing evenly into the hands. Trying to keep the creases of the elbows facing one another so the back stays nice and wide. Last one, meeting in neutral, so core slightly engaged, reaching the right leg straight back, toes turned down. Option to add the left arm. Squeeze everything together for spinal balance. So the back should be nice and straight here. We don't want it to curve. Lift. The more core engagement we have, the less weight we'll put in that right hand as well. Exhale, release both. Inhale, left leg straight back. Option to add the right arm. If you feel like you're opening up through the hip here, you can place a block right on the sacrum, and if it falls off, then you'll know you're opening up through the hip. Release both, then let's begin to flow this. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, release. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, release. Moving with your breath. Then whatever side you're on, keep the leg up, but release the hand, and then pulse. Make sure the toes are pointing down. And bend the leg, knee hovering above the ground, and circles through the hip. Again, if you have a block, you could place it on the sacrum. And if it falls off, you'll know you're opening up through the hip too much. Reverse the circle. This seems easy, but it's quite challenging for the hip and the core. And release. Switching to the other leg, so extend it back and pulse. Bend it, move into those hip circles, keeping the front of the hips pointing down to the mat, feeling supported by the hands and the core. Reverse that circle. And release down. Then widen the knees, big toes together. Press back to child's pose, stretching out those hips we just worked. Inhale, shift forward, bring the knees back hip distance. Walk the hands forward a little so you can shift forward to a kneeling plank and the wrists are under the shoulders. Exhale back to child's pose. Inhale forward, kneeling plank. Exhale back. If you want to up this a notch, you could do instead plank to down dog. Yogi's choice. Whichever option you choose, focus on rooting down through the hands, feeling supported by the strength of the arms and the core and the contact between the hands and the mat. Last one. Then let's use chaturanga to lower down to the ground, propping ourselves up for Sphinx. Option to tuck the toes or not. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, half circles with the head to get into that neck. Try to press the front of the hip bones into the ground. There's something so empowering about knowing you're strong and able to do things, whether it's opening a pickle jar when your husband can't. I may or may not be able to do that. Or it's doing some pose in yoga that used to be challenging for you and now you can do it. Then meeting in center, releasing down, bringing the hands to underneath the shoulders, pressing up and back to down dog. Pedaling out the feet. And then for the next one, let's inhale up on the balls of the feet, getting those feet. Exhale, bend the left leg, lower the right heel. Inhale up on the balls of the feet, stretch the feet. Exhale, bend right, lower left heel. Moving with your breath, warming up those feet, toes, calves, strengthening the arms, opening up through the shoulders. There's a lot going on with this little movement. And then holding, looking between the hands, walking the feet forward to forward fold. Inhaling all the way up to standing. Exhaling the hands through heart center. Inhale the arms up again. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half fold, hands on the shins, straighten the back. Exhale, release. Stepping the right leg back, dropping the knee. Coming up, bringing the hands together. Exhale, pull the arrow back. Inhale, shoot it forward. Exhale, pull. Inhale, forward. Moving with the breath. Opening up through the shoulders and chest, strengthening the back. Stretching that right hip flexor. And working on balance with the left. Last one. Then from here, open the arms up to a V and lean back, opening up through the chest. Breathe. Keep that imaginary apple between the chin and the chest. Then releasing the hands down to the ground, swinging the left leg back, pressing back to child's pose. Inhale, forward kneeling plank. Exhale, slow chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or full cobra, up to you. If you want to work on flexibility, press. If you want to work on strength, hold. Release the forehead, press up, back to child's pose. Inhale forward, swing the right leg forward, come on up. This time let's swing the arms. Working on shoulder mobility, warming up the arms. And then opening up to our V. Leaning back, left glute is really firing, so you get that deep stretch through the left hip flexor. Then hands to the ground, swing the right leg back, press back to child's pose. This time, walk the hands over to the right side of the mat so you stretch through the left side of the body. Back to center and then over to the left. Back to center, tuck the toes, come on up to down dog. Breathe deeply. Bend the legs a little or a lot so you have that really nice long spine and open shoulders. Ears between the biceps, chin tucked slightly. Then look between the hands, walk the feet forward to forward fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. Interlace the hands at the top. Exhale to the right. Ooh, crack. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, we're going to fold, swoop the arms back into a chair, quick chair airplane. Inhale up, press the hips forward. Exhale, swoop. Inhale up and press. A few more of these. And then wherever you are, meet in chair with the arms parallel to the ground. Breathe. Root down through the feet. Press evenly, ball, heel, inside, outside. Tuck the tailbone a little bit. Then on the next breath, step whichever foot so you can still see the screen. Toes pointed out to a wide plie, arms up to 5-pointed star. Exhale, squat into moonflower. Pull the elbows in tight. Inhale up. Moving with your breath. As you're flowing through this, make sure to press evenly with the feet. One leg is always dominant, stronger. We tend to shift our weight to that leg. Try to tuck the pelvis a little bit as you go down. Last one, and then let's hold our squat, bringing our hands to our hips, and we're going to tuck the pelvis like we're in cat, and then inhale to cow. Exhale, tuck the pelvis, cat. Inhale, cow. A few more. Last one. Come all the way up, straighten the legs. Turn the left toes to me, right toes to the front or back of the mat, arms out, bend warrior two. Root down through the feet, stretch out through the arms. Inhale, straighten the leg, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Moving with your breath, drishti is over the right middle finger. On the next one, let's hold, bringing the right elbow to the thigh, left arm straight up, and then to the hip. This is a weird one. We're going to bend the left leg, so opening up through that hip, and then straighten to side angle. Bend and straighten. The first time I did this, I was like, this feels so weird. I don't like it. And now I'm like, oh yeah, open up through that hip. And then holding traditional side angle, left arm extends overhead. That thigh is supporting you, but you're not leaning on it too heavily. It's a good metaphor for relationships, right? A little bit of leaning, but not too much. Inhale on up. Turn the feet so they're parallel to one another. And then bend the legs, bring the hands to the ground, and we're going to move into that side lunge. Nice and slow before we add some movement. Now we're going to add a spinal twist. The leg that's bent, that arm goes up. So left leg bent, left arm up. Right leg bent, right arm up. Once again, using the core to support the movement instead of the momentum. We want us and our bodies to be in charge of the movement, not just being dictated by momentum. Another good metaphor for life, right? Last one. Meet in center. All right. So right toes should still be facing the side of the mat. Left toes face the front or the back. Bend into warrior two. Inhale, straighten the leg, arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Moving with your breath. Then on the next one, let's melt the left elbow to the thigh. Right arm comes up and then to the hip. Once you feel in a stable side angle, bend that right leg and straighten. So knee goes toward the toes and the left leg stays bent. Last one. Then extend the right arm overhead, traditional side angle. Inhale on up, straighten the leg, turn the feet parallel to one another. Inhale, open up through the arms, interlace the hands behind. Exhale here. Deep breath in. Exhale, hinge. Breathe. Release the hands to the ground. Place the left hand right in front of the face on the ground. Shift the weight so the weight is supported by all of the feet, not just the heels. Inhale, right arm up. Head can look down or up, your choice. So legs are straight here. Pelvis is neutral, so don't let the pelvis drop. If this doesn't feel good on your body, you could bend the right leg instead. Exhale, unwind. Right hand down. Keep the pelvis neutral. Inhale, left up. Supported by the strength of the legs, the feet, and the hand here. Exhale, unwind. We're going to come to kneeling, so you could just come to kneeling, or you could hop and come to kneeling. Inhale, open up through the chest again, interlace the hands, reach the knuckles for the floor. Breathe. Then release the hands, shift the hips, and bring the feet to butterfly. Hold on to the ankles of the feet. Inhale, press down through the sit bones as you lift up through the chest. Exhale, press the chest forward. So nice long spine here. And then relax the head. Deep breaths. Inhale on up. Extend the legs for straddle. Feet flexed. Root down as you lift up. Deep breath in. Exhale. Again, nice long back. Hinge forward. And then release the head. If you have a block, you could place the block under the forehead here, or you can make fists for the forehead. Slowly coming up. From here, bring the legs together. Bend the left leg. Open up to the side. Right leg flexed. Deep breath in. Exhale, hinge. And you don't have to hold on here. If this leg is active, you'll feel the stretch plenty without grabbing anything. Come on up. Now externally rotate so the toes point out to the side. The leg will probably bend, that's fine. And then you're just gonna curl over the leg. Whew, feel that in the IT band? It's funny how something as simple as the direction you change your foot can completely change the pose and stretch. Come on up. And then we're gonna bring this right leg on top of the left for a half lotus kind of thing. And you can pull it all the way to half lotus. Just kind of figure out what feels best on your hip. We want a hip stretch here. And then hinge forward. Try to still root down through those sit bones. Mine are wanting to come up. So you have to activate that lower core to root down, which will give you a better stretch through the hip as well. And come on up. Switch sides, so extend both legs. Let's do just a regular forward fold first. Breathing deeply. Make sure to activate that core a little bit so we're not overextending the hamstring attachment. Legs are active. You can hold on or not. Come on up. Bend the right leg. Let it drop out to the side. Left foot flexed. Inhale, root down, lift up, hinge. And what I mean by hinge is we want to try to move at the hinging point of the hips as opposed to curving through the back. So this isn't perfect, but as straight of a back as you can. Come on up. Externally rotate the left so the toes point off to the side, leg will bend. This time you don't have to focus on the straight back as much. Just fold over the leg. And come on up. Now we're going to bring the left leg on top of the right, stacking the shins, half lotus, whatever gives you a good hip stretch. And then fold over the legs. Still root down through those sit bones. We warmed up those hips pretty well, so if you need to intensify the stretch in any way, feel free. And slowly come on up. Bend both legs in front. Walk the hands behind, fingers facing the hips if you can. Root down through the feet and the hands. Inhale, lift the hips up. Keep that imaginary apple. This is a great one to feel supported by the hands and the feet. So really evenly press through those feet, through the hands. Engage the hamstrings and glutes so that not all of the weight is in the feet and the hands. And exhale, lower. Switching the grip to the back of the thighs. Let's roll down one vertebrae at a time. Engaging that core. And releasing all the way. From here, arms out to a T. Let's shift onto the outside of the right hip, right leg straight, left leg bent. Let it drop over to the right. Look over at the left hand. Deep breath. Inhale, center. Switch legs, left leg straight, move onto the left hip, then the right leg, drop it over to the left, look over at the left hand. Your knee may touch the ground, it may not. The foot can touch the ground or stay on the leg, but try to keep both shoulders gently pressing into the ground. Sorry for that whistling SH there. Unwind to center. Readjust on the mat. We're going to place our W hands underneath the top of our pelvis. Then we're going to come up, prop ourselves up by our forearms. So we're completely supported by the forearms. And then depending on your height and arm length, you might be able to just drop the head back. I need to scooch, and then the head can gently touch the ground. So we are completely supported by our forearms here, not our head. Little to no pressure on the head. If this feels uncomfortable in any way, lay down, extend the arms out to a T, palm up. You'll get that same chest opener. To come out of this, use the support of the forearms to lift up, open the arms, and lay back down. Then hug the knees into the chest to stretch out that spine in the opposite direction. Option to curl up. Tight little compression ball. And release down. Hooking the front of the arms as best you can with the right arm. Left arm out to the side. And then guide the legs over to the right. Look to the left. Breathe. Inhale, center. Switch, hooking the left arm as best you can along the front of the knees and guide these over to the left. Back to center. Release the feet to the mat, bringing them to the edges of the mat. Drop the knees together, pitch and toe the feet a little bit. Bring the hands to the lower belly. We're going to practice 5 deep belly breaths. So inhale through the nose till you feel the hands lift up. Exhale through the nose. 4 more like that. Then allow your natural breathing pattern to take over. Deeply breathe in through the nose, sigh it out through the mouth. Then roll on to whichever side feels most comfortable. 2 deep mindful breaths here. Slowly press up to seated. Come to easy pose. Hands come to the knees however you'd like. Feel yourself root down through the sit bones, lengthen through the spine. Tune into how the body feels now versus the start of class. Hopefully you feel more supported, even just simply sitting here. Longer, stronger, and supported. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.